So, if you're a lot like me, you probably had to figure out how to be an adult by yourself. There was no secret school meeting where somebody handed out a handbook on how to do taxes and this is emotional stability and this is health insurance and nobody figured it out. Nobody told you that. One day, you're a teenager asking permission to go to the bathroom, gotta get the hall pass. And next, you're standing in a grocery aisle getting really, really excited about cheap detergent. Oh my god, this is cheaper detergent. And you don't even know why. There was no ceremony, no moment of transformation, just a slow fade into responsibility. As if you're pushed into the deep water and told you'll figure it out eventually how to swim. You'll figure it out. It's strange. We talk about puberty like it's some big transformation, but that's a scam. Puberty just changes your body. Adulthood changes everything. Suddenly, you have the ability to go to the places you couldn't go before. You can rent a car. You can do all this stuff. You have to figure it out step by step. Did you know you can go to a library and apply for your passport? I didn't know that 7 years ago. I went to a library and so they had passport services. No one told me that. You don't wake up with the sudden ability to know how to budget, keep plants alive, or maintain a stable emotional routine. There's no second puberty where you grow your life and say, I can handle life now. No, that's not a real thing. You just improvise. You make rent once a month and think, all right, I got this. Next month, your car needs repairs, and magically, you're eating instant noodles for 6 days straight because the world is really expensive, and no one warned you how quickly one thing breaking can throw off everything because that one emergency ruined everything. And this is the worst part. I think this is the worst part. You can ask your parents, and they would say the same thing. Oh, I just got through it. It's so wild how we were told to prepare the real world by memorizing the Pythagorean theorem and dissecting frogs. I dissected cats for some disgusting, weird reason. It was really gross. But somehow no one explained how credit scores work. By the way, stupid system. No one explained how to pick a health plan that won't bankrupt you. The health insurance is stupid. We were told one day you'll understand. I the day never came. All that happened was we got older and learned how to nod during conversations we didn't understand until we could Google the details in private. Adulthood isn't knowing, it's faking knowing until maybe you figure it out. It's not just the practical stuff. Nobody teaches you the emotional mechanics of being an adult. You have to discover patience by yourself. I have been told so many times that I am a very patient man. Why? You're older than me. Why are you getting mad at me and yelling at me in the middle of Costco? They don't tell you how lonely it can get when everyone's working different jobs, different hours in different cities, and making plans feels like scheduling a meeting between foreign governments. It feels like I'm arguing with the UN. It's crazy. They don't prepare you for the quiet panic of realizing your parents aren't invincible, or the grief that comes when realize that the people that they are people you'll never have time to reconnect with. You just don't have that time because they might pass away. Emotional maturity isn't taught. It's mined from mistakes, heartbreak, and a lot of nights lying awake wondering if you're doing enough. There's no big moment where you feel like an adult. You wait for it. Maybe it'll happen when you move out, or when you pay your first bill, or when you have your first real job, but it never arrives. You keep waiting for the click, right? The click. The feeling of I've arrived. Instead, you just collect a list of things you've had to deal with and hope that one day it'll add up to confidence. That's it. It's all it does. Spoiler, it doesn't. You're still the same you, just with more obligations and a slightly better ability to use the internet for solutions. And the strangest part, I think we all know this. We all pretend we do know what we're doing because admitting otherwise feels like failing some invisible test. Everyone's out here filing taxes, scheduling dentist appointments, like pros. But half of us are also eating cereal for dinner 3 nights a week because cooking felt like too much effort. Adulthood to me is one long improv act. It's weird. You'd think there'd be some biological or cultural moment where we're all rewired for responsibility, where we wake up one day and suddenly good at boundaries, great at meal prepping. I could small talk at networking events, but nope. There's nothing. There's a chaotic crash landing in a life where you're expected to be self-sufficient without anybody ever teaching you how. I have not used any of my social studies skills, barely enough my math skills. I have not used algebra regularly at all. I haven't. And I'm a college graduate. I have 3 degrees. I don't use them for anything. I just don't use them. I have a job that doesn't require the degrees because the fields got majors in pay significantly less than the job. We're not adults because we mastered adulthood. We're adults because nobody else is coming to do it for us. That's what it feels like. And I hate how much of this is just trial and error. You mess up and the world doesn't stop to give you notes. You just deal with the fallout and try again. Forgot to pay your bill on time? Enjoy the late fee. Didn't understand your lease agreement? Surprise, you're paying for damages you didn't cause. There's no safety net, no second chance, no teacher marking your mistakes and reading and telling you how to fix them. You just learn. And learning usually costs money, time, or pride, one of the three, and time is the only currency you don't get back. It's so exhausting, but it's also universal. Nobody got the handbook. Your parents didn't. Your friends didn't. The people you look up to, the idols, everyone's just winging it. Making the same mistakes in slightly different ways. And maybe that's real. And maybe that's the truth about adulthood. Not a state of being, it's a never-ending process of figuring it out as you go. It's so strange. And I make videos like this because I'm looking for people to also be here with me. Because being a stable and centered human isn't about being perfect. It's not about waking up every morning ready to seize the day with gratitude and kale smoothies. It's about learning to exist without constantly declaring war on yourself. You can't control every emotion. You cannot predict every challenge, and you can't be on all the time. Being centered means accepting that your mood, energy, and motivation will fluctuate. And if those fluctuations don't make you broken or weak, they just make you human. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to stop trying to prove your worth to productivity. Like, that's ridiculous. You're not only valuable when you're achieving, creating, or crushing goals. You are valuable when you're resting, when you're recovering, and when you're simply existing. The world will tell you that a stable person is someone who's always grinding towards a better version of himself, but stability isn't about constant improvement. It's about having a safe baseline to return to when life inevitably knocks you sideways. That is stability. Forgiving yourself for not following your dream is the biggest hurdle I've had. YouTube is not my dream. My dream was to be a firefighter. That's what I wanted, either a desk job or to be a firefighter. And I can still do those. It's what it is. You haven't achieved your dreams yet. It's part of that baseline. Maybe you took a different path because life demanded it. Maybe you ran out of time, money, or emotional bandwidth. Maybe the dream changed, or maybe you did. None of those reasons erase your worth. The pressure to always chase your highest potential ignores the reality that survival itself is sometimes the biggest victory. You're allowed to prioritize stability, comfort, and healing over ambition without it being some big moral failure. The worst part, no one likes to admit at all. No self-help coach will tell you this anytime. They just don't want to tell you. Even if you had followed the dream exactly the way you pictured, it wouldn't have made you flawless. It would have made you always fulfilled. Dreams don't erase bad days. They don't stop you from feeling insecure, tired, or angry. You're still you, even with the dream realized. And you still have to deal with the messy parts of being a human. One thing I discovered upon getting even a slight following is that people are really mean. I get hate messages all day. People misinterpret what I say all the time. And that's fair. That's okay. And I know I'm just an outlet because I am a content creator and they have to take it out on me because that's the internet and I have to grow thick skin because people are tough, people are rough, people are mean. That's so childish, but it's the way the world works apparently. But that doesn't make me less of a person for being yelled at. It doesn't make you less of a person for yelling at me. It doesn't. Forgiving yourself for not being there yet means recognizing that your worth isn't a finish line you cross. It is literally the ground you're standing on right now. Being stable and centered are such big things. You don't have to define yourself by your worst moments. You can have days where you feel like garbage. You can be bitter, impatient, lazy, violently angry. You will say things you wish you could take back, procrastinate until it hurts, and stew in emotions that you can't seem to shake. These moments don't cancel out all the good in you. They are moments, not definitions. The most centered people aren't the ones who avoid bad moods. They're the ones who know how to come back from them without tearing themselves apart in the process. I am pissed so often by many of you. And I am pissed at myself for being mad. So now I'm mad twice. For why am I angry? Why is my blood pressure rising? This isn't good for my stress. I'm gonna get wrinkles. It's gonna mess me up. You have to let go of this fantasy. There's a best version of you that exists in some perfect, unbroken state. That version doesn't exist. And it never will. There are better choices you can make. Yes, there are better habits, better coping mechanisms. Better, but the best you is just the you that keeps showing up, even on days when showing up feels like the bare minimum. Stability comes from seeing yourself as an ongoing work in progress, not a flawed prototype waiting for an upgrade. Centering yourself means listening without judgment to what your mind and body are telling you. If you're exhausted, maybe the stable choice is to rest instead of pushing harder. If you're upset, maybe the centered choice is to let yourself feel it rather than voicing it into fake positivity. Forgiveness isn't just for the past, it's for the present too. You can forgive yourself in real time for not meeting every impossible expectation you set. That's how you keep moving without burning out. That's how I don't burn out. I just keep going. It's important to remember that you survived every bad day so far. That's not luck. No, that's resilience. And resilience isn't about never breaking down. It's about knowing that breaking down doesn't end you. A stable, centered person knows they can handle that, even if they don't enjoy it. They've built trust with themselves, not because they've always succeeded, because they've always found a way to keep going. When you forgive yourself, you free up the energy you've been using to fight yourself. That's energy you can use to make small, sustainable change. Not big, sweeping transformations fueled by shame, but tiny acts of care that slowly stack into stability. You start to realize you don't need to rebuild your whole life in a week. You just need to take one step today and one step tomorrow, and maybe no steps the day after, and that's okay too. Here goes the fun thing, right? I remember when I first started working out. I tell this story a lot because it's very important to me. When I first started working out, I had to eat more because I was using a lot more energy. So I learned how to cook. And I went to a class. Hung out with these very nice old ladies, and they taught me about bingo. We did bingo. And then after bingo, you know what happened? I ended up discovering really cool people and a really fun community, and I saw people crochet. I never learned how to crochet or knit ever, but it was really nice. And then at the gym, I was getting more personable because the old ladies were teaching me how to speak better. So I ended up talking to more people at the gym, and they taught me correct form. And my sheets were getting messed up, so I ended up doing my laundry a bit more. Because I was sweating so much, I started to get back acne. It caused me to schedule a dermatologist appointment. Every one of those small things made me better because of it, because I started doing one thing. A series of dominoes affected, and I got better each day. It's not about being unshakable. It's about knowing you can return to yourself no matter how far you've drifted. It's about building a life where you don't have to earn your own compassion. You forgive yourself for the dreams that never took off, for the days you weren't your best, for the moment you acted out of hurt instead of hope. You stop trying to be the perfect version of you and start trying to be the kindest version of you instead. That's where stability lives. Not in perfection, but in peace. That's the important part. And I know what I hate the most? It's the life isn't easy, people. Oh my God. But it isn't. It's sadly not. That's the worst part. If it were, we'd all be made of sugar glass and gentle piano music, cracking at the first sign of a cold wind. Life is an alleyway knife fight you didn't sign up for, a pop quiz in a language you don't speak, and a video game where the tutorial skips and you fight God immediately. JRPG. It's like a JRPG. And still, you have to keep showing up. Still, you put on pants, you make breakfast like the world isn't a flaming carnival ride powered by dead, awkward small talk and the persistent smell of something burning. The difficulty isn't a flaw in the design, it's the reason you're becoming something worth writing a myth about. You are a legend. You've been punched in the ribs by moments so unfair, they don't even sound believable out loud. And yet here you are, still coughing up laughter like it's the only weapon you've got. You've been shattered into puzzle pieces and built yourself back into something entirely new. Not the same shape as before, not even symmetrical, but better for the asymmetry. Easy lives make soft people. Yours has been carved from the chaos that makes diamonds and monsters. And you've learned to be both, depending on who's asking, obviously. Every morning, you drag yourself into a world designed to make you doubt yourself. It throws bills like daggers, sling headlines like grenades. Oh, you hear about what's going on today? It's horrifying. And tells you all the time you're not enough unless you're producing, achieving, grinding into your bones, turning to chalk. And you, defiant, stubborn, absurdly human, look it in the eye and say, I'm gonna make pancakes first. That's not laziness. That's warfare. That's choosing your humanity over their hunger for your exhaustion. No one wants to say being at the bottom rewires you. Once you've been there, once you stared up from the pit thinking this is it, this is where I stay, and still somehow clawed your way out, something changes in you. You stop fearing the fall. You realize the floor isn't the end, it's the foundation you build on what's next. You've been the monster under your own bed and the hero who pulled yourself out from under it. That's not inspiration poster crap. That's survival in its rawest, most unique form. You've lost dreams. Not misplaced them, lost them. It's like teeth you got knocked out in a fight. And still, you found new ones. Maybe smaller dreams, maybe stranger dreams. Maybe Stranger Things. Maybe you wanted to finish Stranger Things. Who knows? I have no idea what you wanted. Maybe just easier to carry it in your pocket until the next wave hits. Maybe that's what you do. You've been told no so many times. It stopped sounding like a rejection and started sounding like an opening line to a story you'll finish out of spite. Every scar is a diary entry in a language only you speak. Every win is a song the universe didn't expect you to write. And yes, you're tired. I'm horribly tired. You're human. You've been cracked open and poured out on the floor enough times that the idea of coming out on top feels like a punchline to a bad joke. But here's the secret sauce. Here's the Krabby Patty secret formula. You've already done it. Every time you woke up and faced the day instead of disappearing, every time you choose to keep breathing instead of folding in on yourself, every time you found joy in a moment so small it almost didn't exist, that was the victory. That was the top. Life is a liar. Feels like I have personal vendetta with existing. I do. I really do. This is really for me, so I can watch this later and feel good when I'm having a bad day. I'll tell you. It will tell you you're losing because the scoreboard says so. But you're not playing their game. As a matter of fact, you're inventing a new one. Mid-match, you're inventing new games. Rocket, paper, scissors, gun. Rocket, paper, scissors, hope. Rocket, paper, scissors. Is that what I'm saying? Rocket? Doesn't even matter. I'm making up the game. You're turning enemy fire into fireworks. You're finding ways to dance barefoot in glass and still call it a celebration. I'm so proud of you. And that's not alchemism. That's not optimism. That's alchemy. You're turning pain into art, turning fear into momentum, turning survival into something loud enough to shake the walls. You are great. And when this is all over, when the chaos settles just long enough for you to take a breath, you'll see it clearly. You didn't just survive a hard life. You earned yourself. You fought for every inch of your own existence. You became a creature of resilience, stitched together with thread made from every impossible thing you've ever done. You came out on top. Not because the climb was easy, but because the climb tried to kill you. and you laughed in its face. And that's what makes you amazing. You are here. You are here. There's going to be a time when you become an adult, or maybe you're watching this because you don't know what you want to become. And you're scared, and you don't know what to do. You're in your 30s, and you feel like your life is over. You're unk now. Oh, it sucks. But I want to tell you something. Your life isn't over until it's over. And you decide that. 30, 40, 50, 60. People can start their lives whenever they feel like it. Start yours whenever you feel like it. Proud of you for being 2 weeks sober. I'm so happy that you haven't drank in a year. I'm impressed that you went jogging today. You got up out of bed and went to work when you said I should call in sick today. You did it. Great job, Margaret, Samantha, Megan, Kyle, Jacob, DeMarcus, all of you, every single one of you, all of you, resilient, powerful, astounding humans. Good job, John. You did it. You didn't cry today. Good job. I'm here for you, even if you don't want me to be, because that's what I would do for myself. And I have to treat others how I'd want to be treated. And that's what I do for myself. So I'm doing it for you. Do it for yourself too. And please, remember.
I'm your Nick at night, be my Laura, please, Lord. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you